Welcome.
Welcome back, everybody.
Episode 2 loading.
Yep. Welcome back to Walled Off. We're so glad you're here. We are going to get into it today.
Today we are going to talk about present day. Our first episode was a little bit about catching everyone up on our backstories, why we're here. It might have sounded a little all over the place, but there's a lot to cover.
Yeah, and I'm sure you have questions. So if you
Yeah.
ever do, write them in.
Yeah, write them in. We can't wait for like Q&A. So just hit us now with the questions.
We love it all. But yeah, so we are going to catch you guys up on the present moment, pretty much. So we're going to go through and talk about Louis Vega, Nova Linda, what we're doing right now, what we want to do in the near future, because a big part of this podcast is about holding ourselves accountable.
Yeah, it's kind of why we started it.
Which is insane. And we laugh about it all the time because we literally had to create another brand, learn a million new skills, and
to finish what we started.
Just to hold ourselves accountable for what we already have going on.
I just had like a download though of like why I think something I've learned a lot in the last few months.
Tell me.
From stuff I've been doing is I do really well in like community and accountability settings. And I think that's why I was really successful in school and like in certain things I did and on certain teams. And now I'm isolated out here in California. I'm introverted. I love kind of being by myself, but I do see like less progress in my work in challenging myself on my own. So the fact that we work together every day, but we don't talk like this every day, I think we knew setting something up like this would just keep our balls rolling in our own lanes, but together, like we're a force together.
Correct.
And I think that you can apply that to like so many other things you go do.
Yeah, well, we're really good at what we do, but we can also be really avoidant.
Yeah, exactly.
So this will, and then we're not only accountable to each other now, but like now we have people that are like, okay, well, where's the thing you said you're going to do?
Exactly.
Okay, well, kick us off. What is current for Louis Vega, and what do you want to accomplish in the next couple months?
Yeah, I think let's start there.
General vibe? Yeah.
General vibe. And we can even talk about like why you're here this week, because I think that is like a really good moment. Yes, it's about the podcast, but it's also like we're kind of in doing a little like think tank week because, well, okay, I'll start about where I am. In the first episode, I recapped my wall covering and fabric line and the brand I've built behind that. And where I'm at now is I have 3 collections out that I love, that I'm excited about, that kind of flow from the different points in my, what's it called? Like the different points of where I was at when I was creating them. You can like kind of tell there's a story behind each of them about where I was living and all these different things. You can feel it. And so I love that. I love that like now I'm down the line and you can like kind of see how the story's unfolded. And so I made a lot of progress in building out my website, building out the branding, doing a High Point show, making more of a network. And now I really want to expand my presence on the West Coast to interior designers out here. And I really want to start taking like the new story I'm living in and telling it, putting myself in the brand. And I have a hard time with that. Yeah. I have a hard time starting that, not feeling weird about it, putting myself out there.
It's awkward.
It's awkward. I've had a lot of resistance in it too. And I think that like the podcast, I love to talk. I love to chat. And so it's like a natural way for me to start doing it.
Yeah.
But the social media version and just creating content in general is just, I don't really want to do it. And I have my reasonings for it, but I want to do it. Like my heart wants to do it. I want to do it for the brand.
Well, it's like, it's the next logical move, but you feel the resistance for it, but you're like, I know I need to do this. It's like the resistance isn't coming from a good place. Like the resistance is coming from a place that's not really your friend.
Exactly.
Totally.
I just want to ignore that resistance and follow my gut, which is to pursue that and share the story of like what I'm doing, my lifestyle in California and Los Angeles with my partner and my dog.
I mean, I've been here for like 2 days and it's so cool. I'm like, you have so much to say and so much to do.
I know, and I signed myself up for this house in all of this 2 years ago. I had the vision. I have it in my heart and soul. and I live it every day, but to like share that with people, it feels scary. I'm a private person. I'm just like teetering on this line of what is right for me and what's aligned and where to push back on the resistance and then
Yeah.
where to, yeah. So I'm just teetering right there. I have a vision for like the stories I want to tell with my product and how I display the product, and then also the stories I want to tell with like myself and how I,
Yeah, you want to put yourself more in
yes.
the spotlight of the
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah.
No, I relate to that a lot because Nova is, like I said, 6 months old. So like literally a little sapling, like a baby brand. But I have this grand old vision for it, right? Like it's
Mhm.
like one little baby tree, it's a little sapling, but I have like a vision of a forest for it. So it's like how do you connect the
Get
dots?
there. Yeah.
And I think we relate to the point where like the dots will connect once like we put ourselves more into the brand.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like little bit of what's next is like I know I'm putting out new patterns, like doing like a part two collection of I call season one drop. I'm really excited for that. Um, it took me a little bit to be like get creative again and want to do it again because it's like it is a long sales cycle. So I'm like, I don't even know if the first one was a hit yet, but like I'm gonna
Exactly.
keep putting it out and what I really want to focus on and like putting out a pattern and stuff like that's easy for us to do. Like we get it. We know how to do that. Like the like step one through whatever is easy. But what's the harder part that I'm trying to focus on, similar to you, is telling the story of the brand and like
Yeah.
nailing that and really portraying more of a feeling of like who is Nova. Because it's
Mhm.
like an extension of myself. It's just like a little window. So I'm like, how do I start telling that story better? When of course the podcast came to be, and I think it was like a natural progression for that. But also content, social media, doing that. It's so hard to be consistent with that.
Yeah.
Content creators, like you guys are, geez, I don't
Yeah.
understand
Really
it.
respect the hustle. It's a lot of work, and when you already have a lot of other work on your plate, it's really easy to push it off. But I
Mhm.
think it's like an essential step to what we're doing and like where the industry is going. And for anyone that's not listening, that's not in the interior design world, I think it's also important for us to, just note that as an interior designer, the way that they source our product is like there's multiple ways they go about that. They
Mhm.
go shopping in quotes in design centers, and they go through different showrooms and they look at fabric drops and wallpaper panels, and then they ask for samples. But also a lot of things are becoming digital, and since I grew up in the industry, never saw a lot of that. I never saw like that much content creation with brand owners in front of it. My mom never put herself in front of the brand. Like I don't have a lot of examples on how to do it.
Yeah.
And I think it's happening a little bit more here and there with like indie textile brands and small furniture businesses and a lot of different things, but not as much as other industries. It depends on the brand and like what you are talking about. Maybe in beauty, like there might be a beauty brand out there where people don't know who the owner is.
Right.
Something like Rode, we all know who the owner is, and it makes you want to buy it.
But like Hailey Bieber she's coming from the angle of like already having
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like
I
A-list
know that's a
celebrity
hard.
mass.
I'm trying to think of an example of
I
someone
mean,
that
I feel
didn't
like
come from that, but puts themselves out there, and it really like tells the story, makes you want it. We can go into that in another episode when we like can come with some fun examples and inspirations.
yeah, I know, because I feel like we have a bunch, but
We have a bunch, but
we'll brainstorm on that. But like,
yeah,
let's be honest, when it comes to content creation, that's I think that's the next step. I think like by
it
the end of the
is.
year, I want to have a good consistent flow of like
Exactly.
me putting myself out there, of course, with the pod, but like the pod is to hold us accountable for Nova and
Yeah.
Louie. Like the pod is the pod.
Mm,
Like it's insane that we have to make a podcast to hold ourselves accountable, but like you know what it is.
it is what it is.
So I think that's the next step. And that's brings us to the whole point of episode two. And it's that we have literally everything we need to be making those steps already.
Hmm.
And we've already been talking about this. And we're literally just making excuses.
Yeah, and the excuses feel you feel very justified in your reasoning.
All
You
the
can
good ones do.
rationalize.
All the good ones do.
Yeah, they all do. But at the end of the day, when you like looking at the person that inspires you and the stuff they're putting out there, and we just watched the Martha Stewart doc last night for the third time. We've individually
Crazy.
watched it
I
on
mean,
our own, and
she is
then we
insane.
watched it tonight or last night together. And that woman had no fear. She had no excuses. I'm sure she got up every day early in the morning, and she had a long grind of a day every single day of her life to create that empire. There are no, I don't know if I want to put myself out there. I don't know if I'm in the mood today.
Yeah.
Like we just can't.
Well, and it's like you can't if we were to only dictate our lives by our moods, like it's like so sad
Yeah.
because we're all over the place.
We are. And I think that this is a moment to go off onto the tangent of um like the ups and downs, because I do like that like each of us could be having a hard day and we text the other person and we're like, dude, take the day off.
You're
Like
allowed to have a
even
hard
this
day.
morning I was like, you know, your girl got her feminine cycle started. And I was like, Nina, I don't know if this is the day. I pulled myself out of it. We're having a great day. But sometimes that stuff comes up and like sometimes you just need a day. That's completely different. You got to honor those things that come up in your life, but
Yeah.
I think that that's different than having like the negative mindset of I'm not good enough. I don't know if I can do that. I'll do it next week. And then saying that over and over and over again to yourself.
Well, if it kicks off a shame spiral. So
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, at least my pattern would be like, I want to post content, put myself out there.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea in my head of what I want it to look like and how I want it to be. The issue is my skill set currently does not match that level of photography. I'm like in my head, it's like a Vogue cover shoot. What I'm doing with
Fully.
my iPhone in my kitchen with a ring light, I'm like, well, that's horrible. And
Yeah.
then it's like the idea of perfection like gets in the way, but it's also like, okay, that looks bad. And then I'm like, and then I'm bad at this. And then how do I continue, doing this? And then it turns into like a literal like pity party.
Yeah.
And I always say this, but a pity party has a start time and an end time. You're allowed to throw them. Throw as many pity parties as you want for yourself.
Yeah.
But when it's time to leave, you get out and you keep it moving. And
Mm-hmm.
that's something I've always lived by because I think you do need to take, sometimes you need a day, sometimes you need 20 minutes, sometimes you just need to rest. And I get that. But the only game that we're playing here is consistency.
Yeah.
And that's with anything in life. Is like we need to get to a point where like we can create the habits to remain consistent and like push through the awkwardness and the uncomfortable.
I think so too. And I think our biggest learning thing is I hope you saw it because you had a front row seat, but the resistance I had with Louis Vega in the early days was all based off what you just said. It wasn't the perfect vision of the Vogue architectural digest combination I had in my head of like, I'm looking this way, my product's looking this way, it's shot in this style house. Until I have that, I don't want it. And my mom's like, that's not how it works. You're 23, you have no money.
But it's good to have the vision.
Of course, but
Like
you
it's
cannot
good.
get stuck on the ego gets in the way of working
Correct.
towards the vision.
Well, the ego doesn't like to feel weak. And like in this scenario, weakness is the embarrassment. It is the shame. And like it's being uncomfortable. Like you want
Yeah.
to like already jump to expert level. And the reality is we're not there yet.
Yeah. You want to jump to the satisfaction of that vision that we have, but you have to work towards it. And the kitchen, set thing you could make that could tell a story is probably not going to look exactly the way you have it in your head because we haven't built those skills and maybe we don't have our dream house and we don't have, all these little things that add up to that vision, but
Who likes perfection anyways?
exactly. And you have to work towards it. You have
Yeah.
to work towards like creating like earning that stuff.
Well, Martha was interesting to me because I feel like her greatest power was in doing. Like
Yes.
she said it multiple times, and like I don't know. Like back in her like prime day, I wouldn't want to work for her. I mean, that's a scary
No.
son of a bitch right there.
Yeah, she's
And like all the respect in the
she's
world,
cold-blooded.
hell yeah. And I'm not that way. I don't think that we would run things
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
But I can respect the fact that she had an idea of perfection in her head
Mhm.
and every day showed up for the job until she deemed it ready.
Yeah, she worked at it until it was that way.
And she kept showing up. Like
Yeah.
it's like, we got to keep it moving.
Yeah. Yeah. I fully watching that. They show like kind of in the early parts of it, they show the evolution of the thing she was starting with, that was she was like plating and entertaining, and the first photos are still like, wow, they're eye-catching. And then the more that it went on, like her kitchen was growing and the pots and pans hanging from the
Mm-hmm.
ceiling were growing, and the lavender, dried lavender, there was more bushels of it. Like it started out in one thing and then it grew to this other thing.
Yeah.
And it was just like this beautiful progression.
Well, beautiful from our angle, but for her, it was probably awkward and uncomfortable and
Exactly. Not the
weird.
way she wanted right at the beginning.
And people probably like, didn't get it at first,
Yeah.
which is fair. Well, like, and that's like, part of also telling a story with a brand because like let's be real, we have wallpaper and textile brand right now. But like the direction that we want to take these in is really home and lifestyle.
Hmm.
And what sells for home and lifestyle is, creating the emotion and the character around like what it's like to shop at this brand,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there's so much more to the vision than just the product we have right now. And the whole point, I think, of what we're saying is we can't get to that next level without being the example of it, showing it, telling the story, being involved in it. How else are we gonna do that?
Well, we also have to put ourselves in positions to accept the fact that we're going to be misunderstood.
For sure. And judged and all the things that like who wants to feel that way. And it's, I mean, at the end of the day, like I do have a little bit of an ego. I think that I have this sense of what I think is cool and fashion forward and high end. And for me to have to like juggle presenting that,
Yeah.
I'm doing the thing that I would typically judge.
Yeah, well, it's also, and I think that's why it's really nice that we have each other because I
Yeah.
can go to you and be like, does this make sense? Is this cringy? And I think,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's like, I mean, maybe we should talk about the fact, like, tell me about who Louis Vega is. How about
Yeah.
that? Like, if Louis Vega was like sitting on the couch right now, like,
Mhm.
what does Louis Vega's morning routine look like? Let's do that. What's Louis Vega's morning routine?
Okay, Louis Vega is, well, this is a really good pivot too, because we kind of, one of the turning points in where we're going with all of this was about a year ago this time when, again, kind of I was concerned at this decision, but my mom and dad were like, you should do your own High Point booth. We
Mhm.
have a mini little space connected to our space. You're kind of silly to not take it. And
Yeah,
I was like,
excellent opportunity.
yeah, excellent opportunity. I'm like, I live all the way across the country. I'm not gonna be able to control this. They're gonna have to help me. My pride was in the way. I'm like, I don't know. And then, we do it. I sign up for it. I'm like, sure, I know it's gonna be an opportunity. You tell me it's a good opportunity. We go for it. And immediately I'm like, I have this vision. I don't want to do it any other way. And it's Louis Vega's den. Like I want to come into the den. It's gonna be this cute, cozy little thing, kind of mimicking the way that I live out here.
Mhm.
It's going to be layered with color and texture and very specific color, very specific texture, and a certain tone of wood. And it's going to be organized, but it's not going to be too clean. It's going to be layered. It's going to be a few objects and all these things I had in my head. And trying to explain that to my mom and dad, who have done a million High Point shows and do a million different sets and do all this stuff, they're like, what?
And it's like not fair because if you, I get it. I got it from the
You
beginning.
got it.
I got it because we were like,
Yeah, we're
it's
like,
like,
zap.
yeah. Zap. And we're
Yeah,
like,
for sure. But do you remember how I was like, no, I know what I want?
yeah, I know. And I would have to like then translate to them in like a
Uh-huh.
different form of, yeah, no,
It was a whole thing, but it was such a good learning experience because I had to think about who was Louis Vega. I was like, it's definitely more of a masculine archetype. Like, it's kind of this, not, it's a fictitious man, and he's got some femininity to him, but he wears suits, tailored suits without a tie and like a crisp white shirt
hmm
and some vintage 70s inspired things. And he's got a vibe. And I wanted it to feel like you were coming in like a very warm space to have a conversation with this person and to learn about their story and their vision.
yeah,
And I think that it's because I feel like that's kind of this person I've become out here is I'm building a story in my 20s that is very a big departure of how I grew up and all these things that I was used to, and it just feels so right.
yeah.
And when I found this house that I live in now, I was like, I can actually show this story in 3D. I can like to your point about the morning routine. Like I can get up in my house and I have like this. I can make decisions. I can do certain things with the way that my room looks, the way that I hang out in my robe, the way I make my
Of
coffee.
course.
All these little things like are telling a story and they feel like I finally have like choice and it's authentic to the way I want it to all feel.
Hmm.
And it just takes time to get there, and I had it all in my head before I even got to it, but now that I'm in it, it's so obvious. And I think you can feel it like being here. It's kind of just
Right, but like tell
flowing.
us, what is the morning routine?
The
Like if
morning routine is being lazy. Louis
So
Vega like puts
your
on the
morning.
suit and like has some accessories, but he's not this like overly accessorized put together person.
Yeah.
He's last minute in procrastination and lounges too long in his he doesn't really have a morning routine, okay?
Matcha or coffee?
It depends.
Okay.
I would say go to would be coffee with cream, like just classic, but you like a little matcha zing in the middle of the day.
Always.
Yeah, that's a little pick me up. So he dabbles in both.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just like he's just flowing. I don't know why I keep saying he, but like he feels like a he.
Yeah, he's always felt like a
I think
he.
it's always felt like a he, and like I see myself in the character, but I also see a lot of other characters in my life as a part of the character I've pulled inspiration from. And the way he moves through the world is,
He moves with like a sense of ease.
yeah. And you know, when there's like a masculine guy out there who has like feminine sides, but there's no threat to his true masculinity.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it is.
Okay.
I feel like it's this sense that like the color and the texture and the art forms he's interested in are expression of his soul and his vulnerability, but it doesn't also clash with his true identity as a man.
No, and this is like the perfect example of like
Oh my God,
how
it's
it's so
crazy.
hard to tell the story.
Yes, you can't. That's why I'm saying the content and the visualization is the only way I'm going to be able to do it.
Yeah, and that's
Because
like
my patterns are like little bitty versions of different points of this person coming to be.
hmm
But other than that, how else do I explain how I'm like coming up with this and wanting it to be represented in people's homes and the feeling that they should get when they do buy it and create around it and use
no,
that to inspire
but
them?
that's what I always think of like, like morning routine rise.
Yeah.
Nova's a type A personality. I know that to the core.
Yes.
She's the aspect of my personality that like wakes up, like goes to the gym, comes home, always has her vitamins, always has like her ducks in a row. Like the mornings are for her health and wellness is set up for success. Her home is always clean.
Mhm.
But there's like Nova has a strong masculine presence. I think similar that like I do. Like
For
I
sure.
take up a lot of space with like the way I am, the way I think, and the way I move. But there's like this aspect of her that's all like there's always like a sexy feminine touch to it. And I feel like that shows in like the first collection. I think I'm rounding it out with a little like more softness to it.
Mhm.
But that those are like the things that we need to think about of like who are these people and like what how do we tell their story
Yeah.
like through because it's like through things that we're already doing in our lives, but like how do we
Yeah. And it's not just like who we are, we're pulling inspiration from other things. And I think that in things that we experience, and you're so right. Like, honestly, the morning routine makes so much sense because Louis Vega's like worked his whole life to just chill. Okay. He likes to work, he likes to create, he likes to move, but he's also loves to be present.
Mhm.
And there's something very special about the morning time. I think that people get different things out of the morning and how that sets you up for the rest of your day.
Yeah.
And like,
Well, I feel like that also ties into like our actual conversation of like Nina and Caroline of
I
like how
know.
we need to get on our shit and stop being so passive with like, oh, we have like a dreamer without like taking action is just a dreamer, you know?
Yeah,
And I think that would be something that we need to focus on and keep ourselves accountable and stop making excuses for not telling these stories.
I think so too.
Because even hearing us talk right now, I feel like we still don't have a clear story.
Yeah, because it's still developing.
Of course. And like I recognize that and that's
Yeah.
fine, but I'm also recognizing the fact that like if someone comes up to me and says like, "Hey, tell me about Nova Linda," like I want to like have like not like a brand script. Like I don't want it to be like scripted, but I want to be able to
Yeah.
like be like rattle off like the da 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 and then be like, oh, I understand.
Yeah,
So I think
absolutely.
that's something that we should also really be working on, because if we can, ChatGPT can help us.
Yeah.
If we can like kind of create this like story of this person and like know it, and then it'll be easier to tell it
I think so
and
too.
show people like physically, because it's like too much in our heads right now. And I think that's a big part of, when people start their own thing or like have their own business, like communicating to your customer
Mhm.
is everything. I mean, that's sales. And like none of us, we have kind of sales backgrounds, but not really.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
No, we're very capable. It's just more about putting the pieces together. And I think that the things that I follow and I find interesting in every single category of my life, whether it's entertainment, clothing, furniture, food, anything out there, I'm attracted to things that are unique. I'm attracted to things that I'm sourcing them from things that had a story. They're older, they once had a story, or if
Mhm.
they're new, the person selling them or designing them, they have their own story.
Yeah.
So I already know what it takes. I'm experiencing it from a bunch of other versions of what I'm trying to do. It's just more staying true to what you want to say
Hmm.
and not getting distracted by what other people are doing. The negative voices in your head telling you that's not good or people aren't going to get it.
Or at least just going to like trusted people like me and you.
Yeah.
Should we do the Instagram thing?
Yeah, let's do the Instagram thing.
Okay, guys. So this is what we're gonna do. Like based off that conversation, clearly we are working on getting our stories together for these brands. And I think a lot of that helps when someone else is, you hear a trusted friend perceiving your brand for you. So
Hmm.
what we're gonna do is I'm going to look at Louis Vega Instagram and I'm going to tell Caroline what I like, what I perceive from it, like as if you guys ever like looked at your own Instagram, have you ever like pulled up your own Instagram and been like, I wonder like if how someone would perceive this, and then you like look at it from that angle,
Yeah.
whatever. So that's what we're gonna do. But I'm gonna do that for Caroline. She's gonna do that for me, and then we're gonna give advice on what we think we should post more of.
Ready,
Ready?
set,
Okay.
go. You want to go first for me or do you want me to go first for
I can
you?
go first.
Okay.
Okay.
This is also another good exercise for if you're creating something or have an idea, the people that know you best are going to be able to.
And if you're watching this or listening to this, it's at Louis Vega on Instagram.
You can do it along with
Yeah,
us.
do it along with us. Right in.
Don't look at me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And like I am familiar with this page. Let's
Hmm.
see. First of all, I get a very sense of like calm, cool, and collected vibes from it.
Okay,
It's
so was I
very,
saying about Louis Vega's morning routine makes sense?
yeah, totally. I get a zen feel. I can tell that it's very like earth tone inspired. I do get like a California chic vibe from it. I can tell that you love nature and you love the outdoors. Um, I see like maybe two pictures of you on here, and I know we talked about that. But overall, I mean, your Instagram has obviously been around longer. I can absolutely get a sense that um you have a niche. I can tell there's a brand here, and I can
Okay.
tell that there's a story here. Now, what I would like to see more of is more of the story, the fact that these are all original paintings of yours. Like I wouldn't know that just from looking on this. I mean, indie wall covering line, but like still. And I and it's very wallpaper and textile focused. Of course, that's what you sell, so that makes sense. But I would love to see you bring in more of the feel of things.
Yeah.
Like if Louis Vega like is making like a tea at night and you like do like a quick reel of just like having the tea, or like like a Sunday morning where you're sitting out there and just like relaxing, and you take a picture of like of that. Like I like when I scroll down a little bit, there's pictures of like more outdoors stuff that I can tell you get your inspiration from.
Yeah, like sometimes I was dabbling in this,
Yes, I can tell,
but then
and
I
I
pulled back.
I think you should go more in that direction.
Okay. Mixing it up on the showing a little bit. I like the idea too of like channeling, this alias might help me post more
because it's
as him.
because it's you like get to like not be in your head because it's not
Yeah.
ego related. You're like, no, I'm like
Yeah.
I'm method acting as Louis Vega.
I think
Method
that's the
acting
route
as
I'm gonna have to go down because it's like this way of me being able to express the story without it being this show of look at me. Like I have a huge block of whatever that is.
well, and Nova Linda is way more confident than I am. Let's
Yeah,
just go.
exactly.
Like she has
But
she
remember the Lenny Kravitz video we were watching earlier
yeah.
of his home in Brazil? That man's owning his home in Brazil. And what am I doing? Scared to show people the way that I live,
Yeah, 'cause
even
it's
though
not like
I love
perfect.
everything I
Exactly.
experience and do and whatever. It's just a sense of, yeah, I think you just kind of have to have the balls.
I know, and we have to stop being scared.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great advice. Thank you. I
All right.
appreciate that.
Read me to self.
All right.
All right.
You know, I
My
don't have as much to work with because you just began their Instagram and
I know I
everything.
literally posted something today because I was like, shit, she's gonna be doing this. All right, my Instagram is at Nova Linda. There are two spaces.
Nova underscore underscore Linda.
Yes.
Okay. Timeless wall covering and textiles for your elegant spaces sold through the trade at Bradley USA. Made in the USA. Okay. So there's only a certain amount of posts, but already I'm loving the palettes. There is a raisin color purple shining through with this deep blue and a really fun jewel tone green tealy
Hmm.
that are all just already give me fashion forward. And for the people that don't know Nina, that makes a lot of sense for the way that
Yeah, I pull a
she's,
lot of inspiration
yeah,
from
she's
fashion.
been saying that for years, that a lot of times things in interiors you could have seen on the runway the
Hmm.
year or two before,
Yep.
and whether it's color, texture,
Yeah, you just start
materials,
seeing like a trend. I mean, that's
silhouettes.
all trends in fashion interiors, but
Yeah.
over in Europe, not in the United States,
Yep.
but over in Europe.
So I'm loving pulling some of these interior shots just as inspiration. Um, I think you should keep going with that. And then you kind of transition to some more photos that are, with your materials and patterns. And then there's a really pretty uh silhouette fashion runway shot, whatever I'm trying to say. I mean, at this point, I just think that you just need more of everything you have.
I know. There's
And
just
you just need to like the amount of photos you have doesn't reflect how long like if you had done one of these every day or every other day or
I know.
at least 3 to 4 times a week.
Well, I'm like when I post like pictures of like interiors like off of Pinterest and stuff, like I don't want people to come to me and be like, "Oh, I want to buy that." Then I'm like, "Well, it's not mine."
I
But like
know. I know,
so
but you just
there's like an awkwardness there, but like again, push through the awkwardness.
no, but the ones you have on there, you can tell that you're not selling because they're very intentional.
Yeah.
You're intentionally showing a feeling with this like specialty runner with the gold and the
No, and I
tassel.
want to
I don't
do
think anyone thinks you sell
I would love to
that.
do also like videos of like making like my favorite martini and like doing stuff
Yeah,
on
I,
there and
I
putting more like
for
clothing and
sure.
fashion and make it more like lifestyle and well-rounded.
Yeah, I feel like our advice for each other is probably pretty similar.
Yeah, we just have to put ourselves out there in different ways. I feel like I'm more
Yeah.
comfortable with like putting my face and
Hmm.
like doing like content like
It's
that.
very natural when you do it on your personal Instagram, so I think you just need to like move over some of those shots to this,
Right. Okay.
if that makes sense, because I think it'll flow a lot with what you already wear and how you like present yourself and the way you host your friends and make cocktails and
I
do
know.
certain
It's like
things.
that's
It'll
I
align
love
really
doing
well.
that. I think I just need to translate like my love for
Yeah.
home things.
No, we already have it.
I
We're just
know.
talking ourselves into this
Well,
live.
and now we're gonna hold ourselves accountable, and I want you guys to follow along and
Yeah.
also critique everything.
Yeah, give us feedback. Tell us what you think because it is like it's very helpful to know. But yeah, I'm just kind of like sifting through everything. I mean, I you just have amazing taste and I love everything you've put out. So
Okay, I
just
think
keep going.
we just need to keep going. Lesson to all, just please keep going. Like there are like I know that people listening to this like they have stories that they want to tell and they have hobbies that they love to do and things that they love to do and I feel like the social media world can be so cringe to get involved in and I think that's something that's also like held me back because it's just a little it can just be a little dark, I think. And there's like things I love to follow and things I don't, but um I don't know. I know that this is the next logical step and like I want to encourage you. I want to like encourage myself and I want to encourage other people
Yeah.
to take that route too.
I think if you have a purpose behind it, it's less, I think it's less cringe.
Yeah.
I think that at the end of the day, like,
But cringe is like, what did I say? The cost of content creating is being
well,
embarrassed, being cringe.
I
Like
think
that's
so.
like you got to like pay that up.
You know, you kind of have to like pay your dues to get to the point where it like flows. I think too, though, like the way I used my personal Instagram for a long time, I look back and I'm like, wow, I was like posting a lot.
Yeah.
And then I like see the way that I do now and it's so edited and limited, which is fine. I don't like necessarily need to be showing everything about my relationship and everything, but it's nice to like share and like
I
give.
like documenting.
I know. And you know what the difference too is, like when I see your stuff or some of my best girlfriends, I'm so glad I just saw that thing. Like that's the stuff I do like seeing. I don't
So
know if I need
true.
to see like Sally Sue from the sorority like 6 years ago that I haven't said a word to. Like I don't know if I need to see everything she's doing all the time.
Yeah.
So it's also about like curating your feed and making sure it's stuff that you're interested in seeing. But ultimately, like I think there will be people that align with like the story we're trying to tell and they'll enjoy seeing it.
I mean, I could hope so. You
I hope
know?
so. I just gotta tell myself that
Oh
to
my
start doing
gosh.
it.
Well, the first one had to believe in you has to be you. You
Yeah, that's
know,
true.
like
Or
you.
you.
Yeah, right. For
Or
sure.
you can believe in me and I'll do it for you.
Oh my gosh, literally. It would be like
Oh,
literally easier for like me to go run Louis Vega and you to come
I
run. I
know.
know.
I know because I already know your vision is, and I can be like, yes, 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 no, no,
Well,
no.
we're gonna hold
Post,
each
post,
other
post. No, that's why
accountable.
we're doing
I
this.
know. And like
It's gonna be great.
we really want this to be something that like people follow along. Like
Yeah.
I want the listener to like get to the end of the year and be like, "Oh wow, like they really put like
Yeah.
I can tell the Instagram what made a difference and like I can tell that like they're trying more in this aspect or whatnot." So,
Yeah. Oh no, I'm all my girlfriends know like I'm the biggest fan of the Foster Sisters podcast, and a lot of why it feels really good to listen and see their content is because I've been following from early days. So
same,
I've
I have that
seen,
feeling with people too.
yeah, you see the arc of like, wow, they were talking about this thing 4 years ago, and now they're creating that show.
And now
They're,
we're going to do it.
yeah, exactly.
And I hope that it can like provide like a light in this world.
I think so too. I think we got this. Love you.
Hell yeah.
What else for episode 2? We're at 39 minutes.
I mean, let's just wrap it up, rapid fire of why the victim mentality will ruin your life. Because I mean, like, I
Oh
feel
my
like
gosh.
what we really did
That's funny.
in this episode is like, of course, we talked about content creation, but a lot of it was like how much we make
Yeah, we're
excuses.
stuck.
Yeah, like
And we
it,
don't want to be stuck, which is like why we started this, and we want to like we want something so bad, and we're navigating together
yeah,
as friends and coworkers and as people in similar shoes. We're navigating how to break through that. And a lot of the times the things you tell yourself, I think of why you can't, shouldn't, or
well, let's be
whatever.
honest. What is the victim mentality? It's a byproduct of low self-esteem.
Yeah.
And like it's the byproduct of not believing in yourself. And it's the byproduct of you think that you don't deserve a lot. It's the byproduct of believing that you can't handle the stress and that you're not cut out for it. So like why even try? Like, oh, if I can just be passive in my life and blame everything on everyone else and
Yeah.
my circumstance and my this, then I can stay in this like comfortable little bubble. And it's like you deserve so much more than that. Like you are put on this earth to have desires, to have dreams, to fulfill things that you want to do.
Yeah.
So it's like what it really is low self-esteem. And like I recognize that and like I mean we all have it like obviously,
Mhm.
but that's what I want. Like if you feel like you're in the victim mindset, like everything comes down to your self-esteem and like your belief of your self-worth.
Yeah. And it really is like the thing we've been saying a lot to each other is just about like making the choice and
Recognizing that
inspired.
you have one.
Yeah, an inspired choice. So it's not just a yes or a no. It's like listening to your intuition and your gut. And all that stuff is like very hard to like explain or put into words.
Sure.
But the more you like give examples of it and see yourself break through things, the more you understand what that means.
Just have the curiosity for it.
Yeah.
I think that was that was a pivotal moment for me of like recognizing that I had choices and then just being curious of like, because a lot of the time the victim mindset won't even let you think, what if?
Yeah.
And it's like, give yourself permission to be curious about what if I did this? What if it worked out?
Well, let's do it right now. Why are like, what if we do all these things we just said we wanted to do this episode, and you encouraged me to do, and what you encouraged you to do? What do you think could happen to
I
Nova
mean,
Linda
um,
in the next 5 years?
I think no, I think it could become more of like a lifestyle and like home brand.
Hmm.
I think that there would be a lot more clear storytelling there. I think it would be almost like I want people to be able to go on there and like pull inspiration for their homes and everything. My idea is like essentially creating a home that gives off the vibe of Nova Linda. And that has to do with, how does like what does she do? How does she eat? How, like, what kind of drinks does she like? What would she do with her friends? Like, just bringing this feeling together. And I think if we just stay consistent with social media, that I will be able to reach more people and I'll be able to have this audience to where I can be a trusted audience. Like I want a community of people that are like, "Hey, love that you did this, don't like that you did this." And then there will be people there that we can like put things out to
Yeah.
and really cater to the people that resonate with the brand.
Hmm.
And I think community is something in the next 5 years that I would want to
To
build.
build
And I
out.
think the podcast will do that, but I specifically like I want girls to come listen to us or like hear about us and be like, "Oh, I'm a Nova girl." Or like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm a Louis,
I'm
I'm
a
a
Louis
Louis,
girl.
I'm a Louis, I'm a Nova."
Yeah, for sure. And so back to our victim talk, how do you think that relates to victim mentality, what you've broken through when it comes to victim mentality, and how breaking through that you've changed a lot and that you believe that you can get to that point? Because
Um
do you bring it up because you believe that that was holding you back?
what's holding me back is I mean, like the fear, fear of being uncomfortable. It's not
Yeah,
even being perceived. Like I know I'm a confident person, and I know that if like you were to like drop me in like a city where I knew nobody, I would like absolutely flourish. Like it's
for
not
sure.
that. It's just like it's just putting yourself online and being like, am I even communicating this right? Are people getting it?
Yeah.
And I think
That's
there's
a little
just,
bit of not being wanting to be misunderstood, I think.
yeah, I don't like being
Me
misunderstood.
either. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
We can do
but the
this.
fear is not big enough to it used to be.
Yeah.
But then the fear now the want to do it and the want to put myself out there is greater than the fear. And but it's still there and I'm like, "Hey, let me show you how that this can be safe." But that's kind of what I want to do. And I don't even know, did that make sense?
No, it makes total sense
Okay.
to me. I think that the first two episodes of our podcast are like teetering on the past, the present, and the future. And I think that there's so much to talk about of what like the last 5 years have looked like for each of us and how we've overcome so much to get to this point.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because it's like at this point, we're like, oh my God, there's so much more to do.
Yeah.
But just to get to this point, there was so much we had to do and
No,
we've
it
overcome
was
and
like
changed a
a
lot.
mind game.
And now we're just on round two of overcoming, changing, and leveling up. And I think we had to break through a lot of that like awkward 20s. Yeah, you're just like not as confident and understanding of like how is this all supposed to flow together. And I think that
I have a lot more grace for myself
yeah,
now to
yeah,
kind of like put something out there and be like, okay, whatever.
yeah.
Like I'm comfortable, like on my Instagram, my personal, like I'm comfortable putting like a picture of me looking like in like a really pretty dress that I love, like a fashion, like cute little post, like that I'm comfortable with that. That's very easy. But like for me to like put out like a brand and artwork and like
Hmm.
give people more because I'm private, like it's just like another chunk that can be like looked at.
Yeah, because think about it. So if you're when you're putting out like a piece of writing and artwork, um, a performance, like that's not just like people looking at you and thinking you're pretty or smart or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like a true expression of you like vulnerability in your heart
Yeah.
and the shit inside your head. And it's scary because it's it's just I don't know any other word for it other than it's like vulnerable because it's like the ultimate. people are just critics of everything, and that's okay. Like you can like not like a book or not like a movie or not like a restaurant, but when your like, face is with the movie, restaurant, or TV show, it's a little bit more
Here you
hard
go.
to take.
Here you go.
So like people don't like my stuff right now. It's fine because they don't really like know who I am and it's just a brand. But like the more I put myself out there, I think that's like you're attaching yourself to
Well,
your output
exactly. And
and it's a reflection of how you feel on the inside. So I think that's just like natural to be nervous about that feedback. But I think it's more powerful if we do it, is the point of what we're trying to get at.
we'll also just like prove yourself wrong. But let's be real at this point, and like I think this is probably the message of this episode is it doesn't matter if you're scared or uncomfortable or you feel embarrassed or like whatever, that's a feeling. It's temporary. You have to do it anyways. That's it. Like do it scared. Do it because you do it scared. You prove to yourself, oh, I can do it. You're not gonna be scared next time. And I've seen it happen. I've personally whatever, but the feelings will always be there. But now like there's a little bit more of an understanding of like why that fear is there and like
Yeah.
how I can work with it and use it to my advantage and everything like that.
Well, this is good. This is good. I really do think that the next 6 months, by the end of the year, we're going to make progress. And I think we're going to hold each other accountable to put more out there. And it's going
Yep.
to be fun for our early day listeners to watch.
Yeah, and we hope
And
our listeners hold us accountable too. My
yeah,
love
and
language is criticism and accountability, so
yeah,
please.
Nina loves to battle.
I love when someone can come to me and just give me a hard truth. I love a hard truth.
Yeah, I mean, a hard truth is fun. It's fun to,
Well, it hurts, but I'm like, I like that about you. Anytime someone gives you a hard truth, I'm like, I like that about you. But let me go reflect though. Like,
yeah,
fuck off.
for sure. Like, give me some space
Give
now.
me some space. Get away from me. But like, I like that.
Yeah. And like what we're doing is like fun stuff. It's not like we're like in politics or trying to like save the world. So at the end of the day, like hopefully no one has like that much feedback.
Yeah, oh my God.
I don't know. You never know where this could take us. But for now, I think we're just showing like the expression of the things we love and how we take care of ourselves and how we take care of the people around us and like what we think is pretty and cool. And
Yeah.
all of that is just like the zest. It's like makes life fun and zesty and like,
Now let's zest it up.
let's zest it up, girl.
Okay.
All right, we got this. Stay tuned. Follow along. Tell us what you like. And we're
Oh,
going to be back. We're going to be back with more of this, of just ranting and rambling. But we're also going to have my mom on and some other fun guests and entrepreneurs. I'll probably convince Connor to come on some point, talk about his acting career and how that's, you know, all of this different people with different outlooks on trying to make it through,
trying to get outside the box.
do something hard.
Yep.
And it's all hard, but it's better than maybe the thing you're stuck in that's not your
Exactly.
dream. Chasing
Exactly.
your dreams isn't easy. That's kind of, I think, what we're getting at. That might be the other message of the story. That this
I'm
isn't
sure there's
easy.
quite a few. Whatever you guys take away from this is what you take away from this.
Yeah.
Okay, you can follow us at Waldorf Podcast on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Apple Music once I figured that out, or Apple Podcasts once I figured that out. We appreciate you. We love you, and we will see you on the next one.
Love you. See you soon.
Peace out.